Good afternoon. How you doing? What do you think of the look? Is it looking better? A bit stylized? Not hating it. Not done in post production. This is coming from the camera. Just a little bit of tuning going on, but I quite like it. It's got a nice feel to it. It's kind of where I am at the moment. A little bit somber, a little bit more down and out, a little bit grungy in the background, but I'm nice and bright. There we are. I had an interesting explore, shall we say? Let's say explore through some of the footage that I'm working with as part of my day job. So it comes from Blackmagic cameras which shoot in a file format called BRAW. Now predominantly I prefer to work in Premiere Pro. Not a problem. There are BRAW conversion plugins for that to let you work with that type of footage inside Premiere Pro. Now I had been following a workflow for converting that footage into a Rec 709 color space and then working up my grades from there. And I was noticing a significant loss of quality of the footage compared to doing a similar thing in Resolve. So Resolve, if you don't know, is the native application by Blackmagic Studios that is used for editing BRAW footage. You can use it for any type of footage, but it's made by the same people that make the camera, and it's a very, very good node-based editor compared to a linear editor, something like Premiere, which I use. So yeah, there's some differences. Neither is good, neither is bad. I don't want to get into that argument. But I was noticing, as I say, this significant loss in quality, and I couldn't quite put my finger on what was causing that. So I've had a conversation with a colleague, and we couldn't kind of figure it out either, other than there was clearly something happening. Well, after almost a year of working with BRAW footage in Premiere, I found what the problem is. It's not necessarily a problem, it was an issue that I wasn't aware of. Not even an issue, I was just being... I don't know everything, seemingly, so that was a problem. So hopefully now, anyway, figured out how to expose the native settings for the BRAW plugin in Premiere rather than using Lumetri to make the adjustments and start my grade. I can do all of the small tweaks that I would want to do to BRAW underneath Lumetri, where there's a little bit more fine-grained control and some non-destructive processes going in place that kind of lets me build on there. And lo and behold, we have the same quality of output coming from Premiere than we did in DaVinci. So that's been a really promising output for the day, to be honest. Something that I should probably have looked into earlier. But for the level of output that we usually need to work towards, it wasn't that significant. However, when you start to look at different resolutions, you do notice there was a lot of noise in the shadows that I just felt shouldn't be there from how we'd lit the scene when we were recording it, and that wasn't there when we looked at the footage like for like exported from DaVinci. So it just goes to show really that it doesn't matter how well you think you know something, a workflow or a process, there's always something to learn, and just because you've always done something that way, it doesn't necessarily always make sense that it's the right way. If you're finding problems, perhaps it's time to kind of go back to basics, which is what I've done, and do the reading from the ground up again, and just see if there's something you've overlooked. Often you'll find, like in this case, there is, and you'll end up with a much better product after you've finished doing that reading and putting in a little bit of legwork. So all in all, a positive end to the day. I'm going to leave it there on something of a high note. I won't go off on one today for any reasons, and I will come back to it tomorrow. I'll see you then, and have a good one. See ya.